Good morning and evening to those of you in other places. If you enjoy watching this, obviously I'm not going to tell you to like or subscribe. If you like it, you're going to do that anyways. But I want you to check out my live stream on Facebook that I do. That will be back up and running here after my suspension in the next couple of days. And my regular YouTube live stream that I'm getting off the ground. So I'm going to talk today about not tapping and how I broke my neck doing jiu-jitsu, which is, for those of you that don't know, it's kind of like a form of martial arts, which uses like holds and, submissions where you have to stop. It stops the person. And in the UFC or whatever, you're basically either getting knocked out, choked out, or you're tapping. To get out of that, to go home with your family, you're going to tap, and there's nothing wrong with that. That day that we were doing this, I just felt like I was having a hard time getting him, like getting him into position. He's just a big dude, hard to wrestle, hard to get under, hard to get on top of, but I could do it, but what I would have to do, and I've done this, just in regular fights, whenever I'm fighting a guy that's my size or bigger, not that I'm a fucking professional fighter or some street fighter, because I'm not by any means. I'm just talking about regular shit, or bouncing, somebody attacks you that's a big dude. I would let them wear themselves out, or I would pin them close to like a wall and, drag them. Same thing with jiu-jitsu. I would let him get his arms, because the more you're squeezing, your arms start getting tired, and I can feel that in my body. I feel you, and then boom, you just explode and just flip over, and bam, you're on top of him. And in a regular street fight, now you can just pound the shit out of him, and he can't even, his arms are jello now. So that's what I was waiting for. And he started going real hard, and not meaning to do it. And I said, I'm not fucking tapping for this dude. I said, I got this, and I just heard a pop, and I said, oh, fuck, that don't sound good. Then I heard a snap, pop, just like Rice Krispies in my eardrum, pop, pop, pop. And he said to me, he's like, hey, are you all right? And I said, why, did you hear something or feel something? He goes, no, I felt like a vibration inside your, I go, yeah. So I got up, I said, yeah, man, I think I broke my fucking neck. I said, I don't know, man, I think I need to go to the hospital. I said, I don't know, maybe it's just hyperextended. I went like, I can't even move it like that. I said, I can't even move it like that, you know what I mean? I went home, I think I used my TENS unit, I iced it, nothing was working. So I think I walked in the hospital at like 8 a.m. the next day, or 6 a.m., I don't remember, and I just told the nurse, I really think that I broke my neck or cracked a couple discs or something. And she was like, sweetheart, you would be in extreme pain if that happened. And I said, honey, I'm just letting you know, I got a really high tolerance for pain. You know what I mean? Like, I got my skull like legitimately fractured here. You can see it in different angles, during a fight with somebody that hit me in the head with a crowbar and knocked me out on my feet. And when I came to, there's blood everywhere, and I fucking whooped his ass, you know what I mean? So I've always been able to take a punch, you know what I mean? Like, I've always been in, I've gotten concussions, I've gotten, my nose fucked up, everything, you know what I mean? And I've always had people want to try me, I'm just being honest with you, that were bigger than me, or smaller than me. I used to walk a different way home from school because this kid that I outweighed by like 130 pounds was starting shit with me, and literally came up to me one day, and I literally pushed him with one hand, and he flew into a bunch of desks, and he still wanted to fight me, and I'm telling you. So anyways, I'm there getting the thing. At this time, I've been using painkillers for a couple of years. My brother hadn't died yet, but I had no real problems with my pain level or anything. I wasn't in pain with anything. Nothing was bothering me. I was working as a corrections officer. I was going to the gym. I was working as, I had a pretty active life. I was doing a lot of cardio, doing a lot of, jiu-jitsu, everything. So I was really active. I was sore from, jiu-jitsu and using that. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. She said, there's no way that you could have did that, blah, 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 blah. So I come back. I'm waiting for the x-rays, maybe 30 minutes or whatever. She comes in with a needle, and she rolls up my sleeve. I go, I don't want no shots. I don't need no. She goes, no, it's a Demerol. And she shot me up with it. She goes, your neck is, your doctor's coming in to talk to you. You might need to have surgery tonight. And I said, holy fuck, really? And she goes, yeah. So she shot me up with the Demerol. It did absolutely nothing for me. And I'll tell you this, when I woke up after, I'll tell you this ahead of time. I woke up after neck surgery in the basement of the recovery room at Kenmore Mercy Hospital. And the lady I came to, and they just basically sawed my neck. The surgery for this broken neck was fucking horrendous. Kind of just like this guy's driving. Shot me up with morphine 2 times. I said, ma'am, I'm not feeling any of that. I go, are you sure? I said, are you sure it isn't saline solution? She was an older lady, right? I said, you sure it ain't saline? She's like, no, it's morphine. She goes, I can give you one more, and then I got to talk to the doctors. I said, all right. So she shot me up 3 times, and she came back, and she had tears in her eyes. And she said, how are you doing? And I said, I don't know, man. I go, there's got to be something stronger than morphine out there. You know what I mean? Is there something? And, and she was like, well, I've never shot someone up. This is the 4th time I'm shooting you up, and this is when people are helicoptered in, sir. She goes, I don't know what you're doing outside here, but this isn't, this doesn't make sense. You've got something going on. And I said, yeah, I got something going on. You're right. So legitimately, the doctor comes over. He shot me up with fentanyl or something, and put me into La La Land. I'm up, so I think she ended up giving me 5 shots and then that. So anyways, comes in, he says, man, your neck's broken like 3 places. You've got 1 fractured, 2 cracked or whatever. And he said, we need to open up your neck and put a cage in there and put some metal in there and, just run in here. And my insurance wouldn't pay for it. So they sent me home with a referral to pain management. And, some exercises to do. And my neck was never, and so I walked around, legitimately. I walked around, went to work, drove a car, did all kinds of shit, took pills all day. I would be in so much pain. I'd be in a customer's house, and I'd go to my truck, get a baseball, throw it on their driveway, and literally take my shirt uniform off and put the baseball in my lower back, or my top shoulder area where I had an impingement. And they would call the company and say, the guy's rolling around in my driveway, with a baseball, and they go, oh, he, they would say they just told him he's got what do you call it, that shit, sciatica, so he's probably got some pain in his lower leg or back. And so I never really told him the extent of what I had, because I didn't want anybody to know. But God gave me the power, to walk around for 10 years of hell, 11 years, 12 years probably, of detoxing off of pills, spending all my money on pills, getting addicted to pills, losing girlfriends, jobs, houses, roommate situations, buying pills from, inmates at the prison, I was, a junkie, so I broke my neck, and I didn't tap. And if I tapped, I never would have had any of these problems. But my life would have never been what it is today, legitimately. I wouldn't have the spiritual relationship that I have with Jesus Christ at all, because I've had to, not only am I, my neck, eventually I gained, 60, 70 pounds of pure blubber. So not only is my neck broke, I'm 60, 70 pounds overweight. I'm so fat, my glasses can't even fit on my face, you know, I've got all this going on. I'm trying to work. You know, I mean, I'm fucking miserable. I just wanted to kill myself every fucking day. No, you know, I'm not trying to be vulgar, but I'm telling you, if you've been in chronic pain and I never thought it was going to end, you know, I never thought it was going to end. And, I ended up getting surgery. You know, I ended up getting surgery, and I lied, you know, and a car hit me, right? It knocked my door off and everything, and I said the car made, I'm not saying this is right, I said the car made contact with me and hit me on the ground, and we went and got x-rays, and they showed what was up and all that, and the insurance company paid for it. You know, so I had my first neck surgery. I told them I didn't want this part. I said, I need the back surgery done where it helps with the impingement. And they were like, no, we'll just do it. And so the front surgery, they put a plate in my neck, like an electrical plate, like an outlet, basically like a BMX brake pedal, like a bike pedal right here, and put some bolts around it, secured it, did whatever they did. I get out of surgery, I sneeze, and it fucking rotates a little bit now. You know, I go home, popping pills, living life. You know, fast forward 3 months later, I told him I need that other surgery done. He's like, all right. And sawed the back of my neck open, put in 4 rods, 8 screws, redid the front thing from somehow, and man, I woke up from surgery and I was in fucking pain that I didn't even know existed, you know, other than fucking maybe like, I felt like I was on the battlefield in Saving Private Ryan. So that happened. I fixed my neck and, you know, started to finally, after, man, in my neck I was wearing a fucking brace. I ended up going to jail after having surgery and detoxing off of pain pills in jail, you know, and like I said, my neck was, oh, there's a state trooper right there. No, I can't flip it on this. So I detoxed, no pain pills, shit in my pants, piss in my pants, headaches, nausea, vomiting, weak as fuck. It took me about 8 months to detox off. I've been taking 180 Percocets for like a year and a half from my doctor in a week. 10 milligrams in a week. 800 milligrams of gabapentin. I would take 800 milligrams of gabapentin. I would take 4 Klonopin, you know, the strong ones. I would take 1.5. For me, I can't really take Xanax because it knocks my dick in the dirt. But I eventually was taking 1 full Xanax bar when 1 would just put me in a coma forever, you know. And then maybe that's not a lot to some people, but you take 1 right now, you're not going anywhere. I can tell you that. So I got out of jail. I went to a homeless shelter. I lost all my shit. When I was in jail, my little cat, my little bear, got out. They robbed my house of everything. I have no relationship with my mother or my sister or my brother who was still alive at that time. Nobody came and seen me in jail, boo-hoo. But I got out with this fire that I still got, and I just said, I'm never talking to these people again. You know, they never helped me. They never sent me. My cat got out. It cost $50 to get my cat from the pound. Thank God he was at the pound. He was in the window at a pet shop for somebody to adopt, legitimately. God gave me him back because I made a promise to God that I would stop using drugs if you give me my cat back. I'll stop doing, I was smoking crack here and there. I was popping pills. I had started shooting up and, you know, here, and I was going, you know, I was going off the fucking deep end. And then, you know, I prayed to, legitimately, I prayed to God. I was on the verge of committing suicide. I mean, not on the verge. I was getting ready to, that eventually, pretty soon. You know what I mean? Probably that night or the next morning, I planned on taking my life. I think it would have probably been that night. And at that point, I left a note on my front door for my cats, you know, to tell somebody to come in. The door is open. And I prayed to God. I said, God, I can't do this, you know. If you could take me and make something, I go, there's nothing, I cannot do anything with my life. I've made such a mess of my life that no one, and this is where God, this is why I'm talking about this, because this is where God comes through. No one can help me. There's nobody, no one could do, nothing nobody could do, you know. My car broke down, you know, I'm sleeping on an air mattress with fucking, you know, in an apartment, you know, with fucking white trash, crackheads upstairs, and it was in a nice area too, which was weird. You know, but there's nothing I can do, Lord. Please, 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 if you can change my life or save my life or whatever, I mean, I'll do whatever you want me. I'll talk about it. Put me wherever you want to put me. Send me to Africa. But please, help me get out. Because at the time, I knew that the only way I was getting off of pain pills was killing myself. You know what I mean? That the way I was going to get off of pain pills was killing myself. I just knew. I go, I can't. You know, I'm a pretty physical person. I'm used to being able to get my way, whether I can muscle somebody or, you know, insinuate that I'm going to damage their life or whatever, but I could not beat pain pills. You know, pain pills were the only thing that I couldn't beat. You know, I just couldn't do it. I'd go a week. So I got out. I was in a homeless shelter. I got this, you know, I had a broken neck. You know, a guy stabbed a guy in front of me. Blood everywhere. Everybody's watching. All these pretend tough guys that were in the fucking homeless shelter, you know, watching a guy get stabbed who was a police officer, an ex-police officer. His name was Eugene. I ended up shaving his head by accident. He said, "Hey, brother, can you shave my head? You know, not like yours, but like a buzz cut, like, you know, like 1960s Marine style." I said, "Yeah." He was a black dude, and, you know, he had like a little bit of an afro. I put that fucking thing, I forgot to put the guard on. And I said, "Eugene, I fucked up, man. He goes, "What'd you do?" I said, "I missed I forgot to put the thing on." He goes, "Man, shave it all off, fuck it." I said, "All right." A guy later in that homeless shelter pulled a gun on me and robbed me, stole my cell phone, and then gave it back to me if I gave him $50. And I called the police, and they arrested him, and then he OD'd on heroin. And the police officer said, "I'm surprised he didn't shoot you." And I said, "Why?" He goes, "He's had so many robberies. He's been in jail for homicide. You know, he did kill somebody when he was 19. He's, you know, not somebody you want to mess around with." And the cop said, "He must have liked you." I said, "Well, we were in a homeless shelter together, and, you know, shot up dope together. He was showing me how to shoot up dope." You know what I mean? He was a great friend. I just knew when I was there, I watched a guy die in my bed, that would sleep next to me in his bunk. He died in the McDonald's parking lot. So I was watching people die all over. I watched my brothers get killed from this opiate epidemic, and I just didn't have the strength. 300 pounds, neck broken, hurts now talking about it. Addicted to pills. I have no life. I have nothing but my cats, and God gave me back my cat. My dad would not give me $50 to get I never asked my parents for money. I never stole from them. I wasn't even around them when I was using for the last 10 years. You know what I mean? Not that they were around me either. You know what I mean? But they all just had my dad, whatever. My dad spent so much money on watches and dumb shit for his... You know, he tried to say he couldn't help me. He never even sent me anything for Christmas, my birthday, nothing. You know? And God just told me, take out the trash. Stop letting people in your life that are not... Your parents are never going to help you. They're not for you. They're against you. You have to get rid of everybody in your life, and I did. I went in basically to what I call the witness protection mode for people that are trying to recover from drugs. I got rid of my phone. I went into, I started getting blood tests done to figure out what was wrong with me. You know, I was so sick all the time, you know, tired, beat up, couldn't lose weight. My testosterone was all out of whack. I ended up going, you know, I said, I'm getting out of New York. I'm getting sober, and I'm getting out of New York. Even without a car, I'm going to go to Florida and find a job, and God will provide for me. I was homeless. Where I live now, I was homeless. I slept outside for 6 weeks. Outside, I was working at a Family Dollar. It was the worst job I ever had other than being a corrections officer. I mean, they just talk to you like you were, you know, I'm not somebody you want to talk to like a fucking asshole, you know what I mean? And the one manager, district manager, would sexually harass me. He was a gay dude. Just all kinds of weird stuff. And I was homeless, and the whole time I was homeless, I wasn't worried. I wasn't thinking about relapse, and I had to detox off of Suboxone and stuff like that, which I used this thing that the government's lying about, Kratom. I detoxed off Wellbutrin, Suboxone, and Gabapentin. It took about 2.5 months, and it wasn't the greatest time in the world. But I never, you know, I never wanted to go back to that lifestyle. I went to my endocrinologist. My testosterone was so low from pain pills and head injuries and everything else, and tetanus shots probably. He said, your testosterone is about as high as my 14-year-old girl. He even asked me, he said, can you have sex? I said, yeah. He goes, you can get an erection right now? And I said, well, I mean, not right now. But he was like, no, you know. I said, yeah. I go, I don't have a high libido or anything. He said, I thought I was just getting mature. He said, no, we got to get you on testosterone. So I started that. I moved to Florida, basically, and before I moved to Florida, I found a hormone replacement therapy place down here in Florida that would prescribe performance-enhancing drugs in a way that they were used for therapeutic, like nandrolone or decadurabolin, which I take for my neck. It helps regenerate cartilage. It helps, you know, collagen reproduction and just stuff like that. And it helps, you know, helps build muscle, helps lose weight, helps do all kinds of things. And so that, you know, that God led me to them, and they're great people. I got to pay them I got to get my blood work done. I would never buy testosterone in a gym and inject it, you know what I mean? This is where I go here in Tampa, Powerhouse on North Florida Avenue. So that's basically my story. I know I've never sat down and told it like this. I could have never did this. I'm not David Goggins. I could have never did this without the Lord. I'm tough, and he let me be tough. You know what I mean? Like when I got hit in the head, I always felt like God told me, nobody's going to be able to kill you, okay? Nothing is ever going to, no weapon is ever going to get against you and mess you up. So that's how I feel about what's going on today with this forcing people to do whatever. So I'll just tell you this. I know I've been through, like David, with the bear, with Goliath, you know, the giant, with the lion that attacked him. The Holy Spirit started talking to me, and that's why I tell people it's so important to make sure you're saved and you have the Holy Spirit in your life. Jesus is the real thing. He is the only way. He's the truth and the light, and no one can come to him, you know what I mean, unless you're born again. You know, you need to know him. You need to accept him into your heart. You know, believe that he, you know, died on the cross, which I do. They killed him, you know. Why would they kill him? Because he was who he was, and they couldn't handle it. You know, they didn't kill Buddha or Krishna. I believe with all my heart that that's what happened. All right, you know, and ask him to come into your life, save me, forgive me for all my sins, and, you know, ask him, you know, to come into your life, and he will. you know. It might not feel, weird at first, but I started feeling it at a young age. I was like 6 or 7 when I accepted the Lord, and he had been with me this whole time, and that's why I tell this stuff. I'm not embarrassed to talk about. I own my shit, you know what I mean? This is my story, and this is the way it is, and this is the way it happened, and nobody in my family ever wanted me to talk about losing my brothers because, they didn't want to be embarrassed about it or whatever. But hey, man, if I can help people out and tell people, what a fucking monster I was to my ex-girlfriends, or how I was, or how I talked to them, and God, I can't even tell you. I haven't even really totally forgiven myself yet for any of that. So anyways, I'm pulling over. I gotta get some water. And listen, I even got a tattoo of aliens, right? I wasn't completely sober yet, okay? And my mom even said, you grew up in the church, dummy, they're demons. And God revealed it to me through the flat earth, that the firmament, there's no way aliens are coming in from anywhere. They're already here. So if they're already here, they're fallen angels. That's my story. I appreciate it. Catch me on my live stream on Facebook, Brian with a Y. Don't send me any money. We're just talking about the truth and the way it is, and da-da-da-da-da. So I appreciate you watching.